Welcome back, Benchwarmers. NFL playoffs have arrived, and we are ready to break down the NFC wildcard weekend matchups.
The Lions snuck out a Week 18 win to clinch the top seed, but there are plenty of contenders lurking.
We've got rematches from this season in store for all three games.
Who walks away with the dub this time? I'm Corey, excited for Sunday Night Football.
I'm Brendan, wish Saquon went for it, and this is RV from the Bench. Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see or hear, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it for us, come on, it's free. It's free for you, it's free for us, helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah.
Well, Corey, the NFC. I know we just covered the AFC, that's your conference. Who do you guys have as your first round? Oh, no, that's right. You guys have the first pick. That's right. You guys are up first, but
There
on
we
the
go.
clock.
That's
Well,
what I'm talking about. Number one
yeah.
pick. Woo!
Woo. Well, let's move over to the NFC, and let's talk about who the Cardinals have for the Nope, we suck too. That's right. We're out of the playoffs. All right. Well, let's just talk about the NFC then. How about that?
We'll have no choice at this point.
Well, we got a great slate. Like I mentioned in the intro, it's a basically rematch. And not only is it a rematch of the games, it's literally a rematch of the location as well. Kind of.
Very, very strange how that all kind of worked out with these three.
Exactly. So we'll start with the first one. This one is going to be Sunday, the morning or afternoon game, I guess you would say. Afternoon for us.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon game is Packers at Eagles. Now, this one was technically in Brazil, but the Eagles were the home team. So this is basically a rematch of Packers at Eagles from, what was it, week 1 or week 2 this season?
I think it was week 1. I think it was the opening thing. Yeah.
So, well, besides the Kansas City one.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, you know what, you started AFC, I'll start NFC then.
All right, let's do it.
The Eagles have to win this game, bro. They, have to win this game. They sat everyone in week 18 to not go for the record. They can't do all of that to just lose, right? That would be a disaster of a season. I truly think they are the better team. They have a little bit more talent on their team. They have a more seasoned quarterback. Jordan Love might eventually get better, but right now I think Jalen Hurts is better if Jalen Hurts even plays. So I think they're overall better. The one edge I do give Green Bay, and this isn't, I'm trying not to give too big of a knock to Nick Sirianni, but I do think that Matt LaFleur is a better head coach. He is a great head coach. That is the one up that I think Green Bay has. But Saquon and the Eagles, bro, this is something else. They're a tough matchup. Green Bay is. I think they're 7th against the run this season. But Saquon already lit them up for about 110 yards and I think a touchdown or two in a trash field in Brazil, let alone at Lincoln Financial, where they're going to be at home, feeling good, feeling rested as well. So Christian Watson might be out. The only thing that really concerns me for the Eagles is the Jalen Hurts thing. If he does not clear concussion protocol by tomorrow and get some practice snaps in, it's going to be a little spicy. Granted, he might be cleared for the game, but I'm sure you'll talk about it a little bit. With no practice and no play for a couple weeks,
yeah,
what can we expect from Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, that will be the big thing. Is if he doesn't get at least a little bit of, like you said, a couple reps, maybe Thursday or Friday at minimum, just to get something in. Otherwise, you're coming in completely cold after being out for 5 or 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, thankfully, they do run a lot, so it is easier to, I guess, get acclimated back in and not have to worry about the timing as far as throwing as much because they do so much through Saquon.
True.
And I'm with you there. Saquon, if they sat out last week and rested all this stuff, it's kind of like the Rams. They decided, you know what, we're just going to take whoever we get as a seed. Whatever happens. We could go up and move up one spot, but we'll just take what we got. Hopefully that all pans out and the rest was worth it. But I'm with you. The Eagles have been, I feel like since they lost that Super Bowl to the Chiefs a couple years ago, last year, they were just bad at the end, barely got playoffs,
absolute trash. Exactly.
Trash those last 5-6 weeks. They
Yep.
barely got in. Then they got beat by Tampa, and it just looked like they were completely torn apart, and the team was going to explode. They're going to fire the coach.
That was a one-sided game too. Tampa handled them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Sirianni's still there. They brought in Barkley. That kind of solved a lot of problems. The offense is great. The defense is good. It's been better with Fangio there than some coming back this year. So they have all the pieces. And like you said, without Hurts, I still think Pickett being in there, whoever, it's not going to matter as much because they're so run-driven. But it will definitely help to have Hurts out there.
Oh, 100%, especially since he's part of that run.
If
they need a yard, is Kenny Pickett doing the tush push?
I mean,
just direct snap it to Saquon?
Yeah, that would probably be the better way, is just have Saquon do it.
Yeah, that guy's can bench a truck, so or not bench, squat a truck. So okay, well, I mean, let's break into scores then. I think it's going to be close, especially because Green Bay is no slouch. They won 11 games for a reason. They just happen to be in a division where a team won 15 and a team won 14. That's why they've fallen all the way down to the 6 or the 7 seed here in the NFC playoffs. But they are going to keep it close. I do have Philly coming away because, again, embarrassing if not.
Yeah.
27-23.
Oh wow. Okay, you have a
I
much
think it's going to be
closer.
close, man.
Yeah, I don't have it quite that close. I think Philly. I don't think Green Bay is going to get ran over or anything. They'll keep it close for most of the game, or be within 10 points here and there most of the night. But I think Philly ultimately gets out of there 33-20, so get a double digit win.
Okay. Before we move on, then let's kind of do what we did in the AFC, but we'll do a 1-by-1 this time. According to FanDuel, the Eagles are favored by 4.5, so
Ooh.
they would not be covering the spread for me, and they would be handily covering the spread for you. So pick your poison, guys. Whichever one you
Yeah.
want, run with.
I think because like in a weird way they had a bye week because they didn't play all their big guys, but they also still played. So like they're not completely rust, I think, at this point. But I think the Eagles are going to be ready to rock and roll.
They should be. As long as Jalen Hurts plays, I'm with you.
Yeah, well, that's a big question, I guess.
That's a
Right?
big one. Yeah, exactly. Now moving on to the Sunday night game. This is probably also, I think, if I had to choose one, just because I don't know if the Commanders are ready. This is similar to the Bills Broncos game to me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Bucks have been storied playoff team for a couple years now. They almost beat Detroit in Detroit division round weekend last year, but Baker was leading a comeback through a pick on the last drive that kind of sealed it. So this team is good, and they've been here and done that. A lot of these people were even on the Brady Super
Yep.
Bowl team. That's how long this team has been here. Obviously, Tom's not, but they have been. Vita Vey and all those fools holding down the defense. We got Mike Evans, who just hit 1,000 yards for the 11th time in a row. I just think the Bucks are going to be good. Bake Show's been dealing. The main thing, though, is that the Washington offense is good, so they'll be able to score some points. The Bucks defense is pretty good, but the problem is the defense is bad, really bad. They are third last in the NFL in against the run, and I am waiting for freaking Bucky Irving to start pouncing because he's about to go off. He went off against the Cowboys, who are bad against the run. He's about to go off against Tampa, who's against the run. Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for Tampa, he's got Baker looking like a freaking top 10 quarterback in the league when the Browns didn't even want him.
Yeah, for the Browns, the Panthers didn't want him. It was really bad for Baker at one point, and so was it for Darnold. Maybe going to Carolina and then getting out of there is what saves those
That's
guys.
the key. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So either way, man, I just think it's going to be a little bit of a recipe for disaster for the Commanders. Just too much good on offense and a pretty stout defense. And they're at home. They did play each other again. Like I said, it's a rematch. But it was literally Jaden Daniels' first game. It was week 1. They beat him pretty bad. I do have them winning. Tell me what you see.
So I went back and forth on this one. This is honestly, I think, going to be the most. I think it's going to be the best matchup of the weekend. Maybe not including Monday night's game, but this one just
Yes.
because they both are gunslingers. They like to score a lot. Both teams scored but 480 points or more this year. And you mentioned the defense. They basically have the same amount of points given up, 385 and 391. So I kind of think it's points differential is not going to be as big a deal as far as that goes. But with the rushing numbers, the Bucks are going to run all over Washington. But I think I don't know, for some reason, Jaden Daniels kind of has that CJ Stroud vibe for me this year where
Okay.
he doesn't
Yeah.
know what he doesn't know. So he's going to go into Tampa. But going against Baker makes it a little more. Baker just for these moments seems to always step up his game. So I
Dude.
still have the Bucks going in there and having the home game and getting the win. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think, and actually a lot higher scoring than most people probably think.
Okay. I do have it actually fairly high scoring as well. I'll start with that. I got the Bucks winning this one. I have them winning 35-24. It's a pretty handled win, but I think they're going to be able to take care of business at home.
Okay, see, I have this ending closer, and I feel like it's even going to be Jaden Daniels has the ball last, but can't get all the way down the field at the end. I have Tampa winning 34-30.
He's not gonna. The Bucks aren't gonna pull a Chicago and start celebrating before the game's over. Okay,
I don't
gotcha.
think Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans and those guys are going to let that happen for sure.
Yeah, no, they're a lot more professional in Tampa than they are in Chicago right now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Caleb Williams said he was gonna. Don't worry about punting this season. Do you know that Caleb Williams finished with less passing yards than the punter finished with punting yards?
Oh wow! I did not. I did hear the story about when he got drafted. He texted him and said, "You're not going to have to do very much," but I didn't know the numbers at the end were that bad.
Yeah, he actually punted for more yards than Caleb threw this year.
That's sad.
Yeah, not looking great. So the spread though does have the Bucks as favorites. So basically, we've just picked favorites. But honestly, wild card weekend, it's kind of more like that. These teams are sneaking in some of these ones, and they got some tough matchups on the road. It's 3. Tampa's favored by 3. So we both have them covering. I have them covering pretty easily. You have them just sneaking the cover.
Oh, let's just hope that if we're doing a parlay for this, let's hope we get them all right this weekend.
Right? Actually, maybe I'll think about that. We should think about that. We'll have to hit you up. Hit up art. Jeez, let me get that out. Okay, let's move on to the last one then. This is the Monday night matchup, giving us something to do on Monday because this Monday there ain't shit to do. So thank you, NFL, for giving us something to do next Monday. We've got the Vikings visiting LA, coming here to the Rams. Again, a rematch from earlier this season when the Vikings came to LA. I have it kind of going just like it went earlier this season. I'm taking the Rams, and I think this might be the only one where we're split. McVay rested his team for a reason. They saw exactly what the blueprint is from Blueprint. Hey, if you haven't seen the Blueprint, go check out that series. Just wrapped it up. Fantasy football, helping out a guy. It's actually pretty good. Go check it out. So, anyways, they got the blueprint from Detroit on what to do and how to rattle Darnold. And I believe that they're going to be able to execute that, especially rested. This offense for the Rams is also extremely elite. They've got every weapon, and they've got them all healthy with a week's rest. I think the Rams defend their house. Whose house? Rams' house.
Yeah, Rams' house.
And move on.
Okay. Well, this is the one we differ because I feel like last week's game with the Vikings, now they lost bad to Detroit. No problem. No worries about
Detroit's
that.
15-2. Yeah. I mean,
they also were in the red zone, I think, 4 times and didn't really score very much because they kept going for it on 4th down. So I feel like they struggled. I feel like if anything, it was kind of a wake-up call for Minnesota. Like, okay, if you guys are going to have a chance, you got to get your shit together. So I feel like Darnold, he went to SC. He's an LA guy. He's coming back to here, prove everyone wrong, and prove last week was just a blip on the radar because the rest of the year he's been fantastic. He has plenty of weapons. They have Jones. They have Jefferson. They have Addison. They have it all.
Hawkinson. They got a lot of sons.
Yeah, that's weird. They do. I think they have it all. Their defense is good. The fans did travel really well when they came here last time, so I anticipate a little bit of the same thing. So I think it's going to be Skull Land over there in SoFi. But yeah, I don't know. The Vikings just have that feel like, yeah, they had 14 wins for a reason. They didn't win the division ultimately last week, but
14.
That's a lot of wins. And the Rams, starting 1-4 and being here in the first place and winning division, props to them. They should be.
And not even needing week 18 to win the division.
Yeah, true. Even that's a good point. Even only 16 or 16 games to actually clinch it. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Vikings are going to come into town and Stafford's old, and I don't know if they're going to have quite enough to get through at this round.
This is one of the matchups actually where I feel the coaching is equal. I think Kevin O'Connell is a phenomenal coach. You can see he's literally had like 3 different quarterbacks the past like 3 years, and he just does work with all of them. Yep. And obviously Sean McVay, Super Bowl winner, he's great. You can't say enough about
O'Connell
McVay.
Came from McVay, so
it's true. Yeah, very true. Good point. So I think the coaching is probably going to be the closest in this game of any of them. I have the Rams winning, like I said, though. The score last time they played, I believe, was 30-20.
Correct.
I'm gonna give the Vikings a little bit more. I'm gonna say 30-24.
Okay, all right. You have it close to. I have it within a touchdown. I have Minnesota sneaking out of there 27-20.
27-20. Okay. The spread currently on FanDuel is Minnesota 1.5.
Oh wow! So it's basically a toss-up.
Yeah. So I obviously have the Rams covering because the Rams win in my scenario. You have the Vikings covering because the Vikings win, and obviously 1.5 point just means did you win? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, yes, you can win by 1 point in the NFL, but it's
God. It would be the week if we do a parlay that it happens. I swear.
So true, dude. Let's just pick money line. Let's just pick money line.
Yeah, smart.
Although we disagree on money line, so maybe we just don't bet this game.
Yeah, we do 5 out of 6.
True. Cool. Well, that's pretty much it. NFC's here. AFC, we wrapped up in another video. If you didn't catch that one, go check that one out if you're an AFC fan. Or if you just want the whole picture of what we're thinking. We'd appreciate it. Let us know down in the comments below, though. Who do you got winning this weekend? Who's moving on?
Who do you think is the best matchup this weekend? I think it's Tampa on Sunday night against.
I think it's Vikings-Rams.
Oh, see, Monday night. That's another good. I think the last 2 games, they put them in the right order. They're going to be really good. But
I agree.
Let us know on Instagram or Twitter at RVUFTB. And again, if you haven't checked out our reels on Instagram of our shorts of us quizzing each other on different sports logos and trivia like that, feel free to do so as well.
Yeah, quiz yourself. Let us know in the comments on those reels what your score was. Did you get them all right? Because I've been tanking. Appreciate everybody, though, for stopping by. Seeing things as always from RV from the bench. I'm Brendan.
I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
This was a Sycamore 4th Studios production.